Okay, hey collective. So we're going to get into a quick reading because there's this energy that's been coming through all day. I keep hearing this is about to get messy as fuck. So if you are here, if you feel like there's a situation going on in your life, I don't know whose energy I've been tapping into, but whoever you are a very you're in between two things. I feel like there was something that came up during the full moon from your past. I feel like you're stuck in between two options. I feel like you feel like there's something and a reason why this thing from the past has come up, but you haven't quite figured it out. But the impact of that thing could cause your recent situation to be impacted. I feel like it feels like a secret, or there's some sense of like, mystery to it. I feel like you are a very divine person. I feel like the two different situations, I pulled option one and I pulled option two, is what I did. I feel like option one is a person who is, and this is just tapping into the energy, and then I'll tell you what the cards are saying, because then we'll dig deeper if we need to. But I don't want to be on here long because I want to get it out. So the person that is like option number one, I feel like you have a person in your life that is very soft and very loving and very kind and like Virgin Mary type of energy, very like giving, very open, very, they lack fire, right? It's like a person that's full of trines and sextile energy, like a bunch of like softness, but not like, hey, yo, da, 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 right? And I feel like you are a person that gets off on some roughness, right? I feel like too much softness doesn't do you well, because you're like, please, like grab me by the neck a little bit. So I do get that, right? And even in your spiritual self, I feel like in all of your chaos, you are light. You are light. And I feel like part of the reason why this situation is coming to you is to help you transform something. But I genuinely feel like option number two is seeking you from the past because you are familiar and they know that you're light. And this is all unconscious, but it's showing up in your reality. And I feel like there is a divine reason as to why it's happening, but you feel torn because you feel like it's something in the past that you don't want to come back, and you're really uncertain about what to do with it. Okay, so now let's get into the cards. So this is a question to spirit if you were to choose, and I'll see what all comes out because I have a bunch of cards out here. All right. But none of what I just told you is from the cards. This all just kind of channeled. And I mean, because you keep saying, I keep hearing you say this is about to get messy as fuck. And it ain't gotta get messy. Okay. So for option number one, we have collaboration. I feel like if you were to choose option number one or stick with your current situation, that there is, that this person is, again, I see them as like a softer soul than option two. The cards that came out around them is Dancer, Soldier, and Revolutionist. So this person could very much so be a Pisces or an Aquarius. They could also be an Aries, but they are somebody who is like of high honor. Like they have a lot of respect for themselves. They respect you a lot. I feel like they're a loyal person, selfless service. That's what I was picking up. Like white is the color I pick up for them. Like very revolutionist, a dancer, just like a soft soul, right? I feel like they're very go with the flow, but they don't like light you up or spark you up, but they're safe. They're safe. I feel like they're a safe option. I feel like in walking in this relationship or connection for the person that you're currently with, or this option one, I feel like that it is a committed relationship. Like it was something that may have happened really fast, which made you doubt the connection or the commitment, and that you're feeling this need to kind of reset based off of who you are today. Okay. I feel like you started somewhere in your relationship with this person, but you've walked a path and you've changed, and it's like you now understand your own light. You now understand your own boundaries. You now understand your own chaos, your own reign. You understand all of that about yourself. And in that, you're like having to release the version of you that showed up in that relationship, which is part of why option 2 is coming around, because you're in this transition, but you haven't decided whether you want to give up on the commitment with the first person, or this is so messy. God. Oh, you haven't decided if you want to give up the commitment with the first person, or if you want to choose option number 2, which we will get into here in a second. Okay. So yeah, dancer, soldier, revolutionist. This says, commit to this next stage in your development and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. So regardless of the decision that you make, you need to make a commitment and make a decision. It's fast progress. So move forward with swift precision and do what must be done now. Make the decision. Embrace the flow of letting go to welcome renewal. Allow new energy to shape your path. You are different. So everything that resonates with you will be different. If the person that you have been with is not matching your energy anymore, you also need to take that into consideration, which I don't know if that's true or not. But you got the collaboration card, which means that there was so this is telling me that there are things that are out of balance, but there was a collaboration and togetherness with you in this current option number 1, or who you're currently with. Okay, so then I pulled Tarot, and I feel like, okay, so a couple things, because let's start with the major arcana. We got the Moon card and we got the Tower card, which means that there was something that came in suddenly. And I feel like what came in was this new situation or person. I feel like they brought a lot of fire and it stimulated you. And I feel like this has had you split and torn as to like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Now I don't know what to do. I'm unclear. I'm uncertain, because there's been a sudden change. There's been a shift in your energy and in your frequency, and it's leaving you. This also is telling me that this is something that was provoked with this full moon. Okay. So the person that you're currently with, you could be married. It's definitely a love connection, right? The option number 1 is a love connection. 2 of Cups and 4 of Wands. Could be soulmate, twin flame energy with the 1111. You know, like this feels like it's very divine, and it was for a reason. But I feel like you have the Ace of Pentacles moving to the 7 of Pentacles, which means that it was a gift or something that was seeded and given to you, and you walked through it to commit to the relationship, and you've been doing the work. But I also feel like you've been doing the work maybe by yourself, which is why I get a sense that option number 1, or the relationship that you're currently in, is out of balance in some way because you have grown, but maybe that person is not meeting you where you are, and you're starting to sense that and feel that. And maybe you feel like, I feel like you feel like because of their inability to show up in the way that you need them to show up, it's making you open. And now you're bringing in other things, and you don't like being in this position. But you also haven't made the decision to end the relationship or to leave this person because of the commitment around it. So we'll pull more on that in a second, but that is what I sense. Okay, so then for option number 2, devotion. I feel like this is someone from your past that has you torn. This is someone that is coming back around, but it's someone that was really close to your heart space and that you were devoted to. Okay, so we'll start with that. We'll come back to Tarot. So I'll pull those up for a second. All right, so the first question that I was asking was the path, right? So like on the, like, what is this path and what is this? The first one was about commitment. You know, you changed in this because of your own ascension, and now you're in a place of like releasing and renewing, which means that option number 1 is either going to have to end or change in its current form. You're not going to be able to take this relationship forward in the way that it has been. The other person is going to have to be a vibrational match, or it's not going to work anyway. Okay, so then for path number 2, we have roots of success. Secure your foundation, fostering growth and stability for a thriving journey ahead. Worth the effort. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Knowing your dedication will lead to rewarding discoveries. And then it says desert of isolation. Traverse the desolate. I don't know that word. Traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to uncover reflections and resilient survival. Traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to uncover reflections and resilient survival. Desert of isolation. So I feel like if you take the option number 2, I feel like there is some lack of stability. I feel like you are going to feel like you're alone in it to some sense. Like from a stability perspective, I don't feel like it is as grounded as option number 1. So we have loose roots here. And then we have a journey that you're walking, but it's upside down. And then we have desert, which means you're going to feel like you're kind of left out in the cold when it comes to this connection. Or you're not going to understand where you're going. And maybe that is what it is. You don't understand where you're going in this connection. So that is the insecurity that feels like it's coming up. Okay, so when I look at the person, outside of them coming to me as like somebody that has more fire, somebody that has more spunk, more fun. I feel like they're funny. I feel like they're like bold, but I feel like their soul is not as advanced as the first person's soul from a spiritual perspective. I feel like the first person is very 5D. Even if y'all are out of alignment, I feel like they're aware. They have awareness of their spiritual journey. They have awareness. They've worked towards it. Where I feel like option number 2, it says, I feel like you see them as like a king, right? I feel like they carry a very authoritative energy, which you admire. You admire their like oomph. They may be big. There's someone who may be a leader in their industry, but they feel cold. This person can also be like a singer or love music, or they can work in the government. But I feel like they are someone who is disconnected, that they are going to, that they're, like, I feel like they may just be passing by. And I feel like, they are very divinely, like, this is like a divine masculine, but weak, right? Like a weaker soul. Even though the king card is here, I feel like, yeah, I feel like they're not operating out of the highest vibration. I feel like they're emotionally imbalanced. I feel like they try to, they're here to perform. But I don't feel like they're here to stay. I feel like they're just passing by is what I feel like. Even though they're more fun and they ignite you and you feel with them, I don't feel like they're here to stay. So let's get into tarot and see what comes through. All right. So we did have the Prince of Cups, it came out in reverse, which makes me feel like this is a love from the past, right? This is a love offering that came to you from the past. And then we had the Strength card. We have the King of Discs. So it's someone who is stable, someone who is grounded, someone who is financially secure, someone who has someone who, like, for themselves, I feel like they're a person of power within themselves, like with the King card, with the King of Discs card. I feel like they are someone that is not selfish, but kind of like, I feel like they're like a all about me type of energy. They are someone who works really hard, but I feel like you would have to be perfect in order to be in this relationship. We have the Strength card, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Eight of Discs. So this is something that you're going to have to work at really intensely, and perfect in order to, like, to be happy. Like, I don't feel like this second option, I don't know if I'm feeling either option, honestly. But there is love and commitment over here. I don't necessarily sense love and commitment. On this side, I feel like it's something from the past. It's something that is kind of aloof. There's going to be hard work. We have the Strength card coming out. So I feel like, you know, you could be a Leo. They could be a Leo. But I feel like this is like, you've been here and done this, and you're going to realize that, like, why am I doing this again? Because it doesn't bring out the best in me. I'm not standing in my power. That's what I feel. All right, let's get some clarifying cards. All right, Spirit. Can you tell me more, or can you clarify this if option one, like their option one, scratch that, Spirit. What is the advice for this person? Can you give me, show me clearly, like what is the advice? It says start with tarot. Okay. What is the advice for this person? With all of this, Spirit, what is the advice? How can we help them? All right. Let's see. Ooh. All right. So we have the Four of Pentacles, meaning that you're holding on too tight. You're dealing too much in reality, that you really need to change your perspective, because you have the Four of Pentacles with the Hangman, the Hanged One coming out. And the Hanged One is about spiritual knowledge and balance, but it's about changing your perspective. The person that is the Hanged One put themselves on the tree of knowledge to understand, and they are being divinely guided. But there's the Eight of Wands coming out, which means that there is going to be a lot of communication once you pause. But you're holding on to the situation so tight because you're trying to change the outcome of it, but really you can't. I would tell you that when there's energy that is this tight in decisions, just be fluid in it. Be honest in it. You know, like, how do you feel? And then watch Spirit and ask Spirit for clarity. Because, for example, for example, there is someone that came back around, right? Someone that comes back around, and when they come back around, it's like, oh, this is fun. I miss that person. But often there's also like red flags. Like immediately you'll get that feeling like, damn, I don't even know why I'm doing this again. Or swear he didn't call me back. Or you say one way, but you're acting another way. Don't justify it. Just be present in it. Allow yourself to understand what is going on, because Spirit is going to show you. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision for you first, your boundaries, who you are today, not who they assume that you were. And you have to know what it is that you want. It may not be either one of these situations, right? Spirit, is there a new love coming in for this person? Can you tell me? What is this Eight of Wands? What is this? What is the Eight of Wands, Spirit? Can you tell me? Oof. There's going to be communication that comes in from a King of Swords. So there's definite conversation coming in and clarity. But it is going to make you feel like you are a victim of your own thoughts, or like, you know, you can't get yourself out of this situation, baby. And you can. The Hermit. Oh my goodness. Who is this? What is going on? Spirit is saying you're divinely guided. You have to make the decision. You cannot hide out for. Listen, Five of Swords. There's conflict. And I know that there's conflict. You know that there's going to be conflict. But it doesn't mean that the situation cannot work out in a very high vibrational way. I feel like you need to. Yeah, Three of Swords. Golly. Queen of Cups. Use your intuition. There might be some heartbreak. There might be some foul words exchanged. There may be some high intensity. But you still got to go through it. You know, like you got to go through it. That's why you're saying this is about to get messy as fuck. Because whatever this is craziness. You got options, baby. Emotions at the bottom of the deck. Clown. Okay. Can you give me some last card, Spirit? What is the advice? What is the advice for this? I feel like this is you. Queen of Cups. Obsession. That's what I'm feeling like. What is this? You're just holding on to something that needs to be released. There's so much freedom in that. And, okay. Third party. Wow. Wow, you guys. What the fuck is going on? Okay, so we have divine feminine. We have divine masculine. I have third party. A new boo. An obsession. This is a hot fucking mess is what it is. I don't know if there's like who's cheating on who. I don't know who you've allowed into your energy. But I feel like you are obsessing over it. I feel like the divine feminine in this situation is extremely obsessive. And I feel like you're married and you also have this past person that has come back. I feel like you're married or committed or in a serious situation. You have this third party or this other person that has come into this commitment. And now you're feeling like overly attached to this person. Man, baby. Anything else, Spirit? I would tell you to just do what you feel is right. I would tell you not to continue to... If you continue to vibrate within this, you're just going to create more chaos. That's all. And we don't want more chaos. I want you to have some peace. And I don't feel like you have peace because I've been in your energy for like 3 days now. Confidence is your best outfit. Wear what makes you feel unstoppable. A woman in a red dress, a white dog could be significant. Madly in love. I feel like you stepped out and I feel like you kind of regret it. And I feel like you wore a red dress when you stepped out and you probably looked good, you know, like, and now all of that fun is kind of eating you alive. I feel like, This is a staircase, not a block. Each step, more confidence and more self-love. Last card, Spirit. Okay. Conflict. Disagree boldly, forgive openly. Healthy conflict strengthens bonds. I feel like whoever you are, your person is going to forgive you if you still want to be in that relationship, but you have to be truthful. It says Venus of the waves, fluid as the ocean, soft as the tide. Your sensitivity is your superpower. Trust the ebb and flow of your heart, and then appreciate. Find beauty in the hidden corners of the city. Embrace the small miracles that unfold in the midst of daily life. I feel like your person is going to forgive you, but I feel like you are running out of time of saying what happened and why it happened with this past person. Even if you stepped out, even if, you know, like whatever it is, I feel like you have to admit you're wrong. Confirmation. Even if it fucking sucks, you know, I want you to get out of this energy so that we can stop being in this energy, because it feels like fucking chaos. But I get it. And to start the year like that has to be a lot. But you got this, baby cakes. All right. Remember that you are loved and you are love. I really don't hope that this resonates with anybody, honestly. But if it does, make the decision. If you want to stay with the person that you've been with, tell them the truth. I would not necessarily pursue the second person unless it's for a good time, not a long time. I don't think that they have the capacity. I feel like they're a lost soul. And I feel like this shift of energy is getting really big. And so they're grappling on you because you're light. Any last things, Spirit? The truth will set you free. Okay. I love you.